Hi, and we are back once again on the world that I live in, the Susan K world. Still your girl, Zabuli here. No longer Jalia, but Zabuli, she's right here. And in this episode, she'll be talking about her transition, how she has moved. Right now, she is a woman of God, serving God in different capacities. She's a motivational speaker. She speaks to young girls. She speaks to young boys. She inspires many. But that journey has not been a very easy one. And I would like her to start by telling us more about that experience that she had on that table when she decided to have an abortion way back when she was still at university. In that moment, when you were on that table, that moment that changed your life, I would like you to take us back to that day.
Maybe just to recap, before the day happens, I had just lost my dad.
You had just lost your dad?
In July of that same year.
Okay.
And my dad was my best friend. Like I said, he was never perfect for people, but he was the best dad I got. And he had just died. My family was dysfunctional. There was nothing like, let me talk to you. Everyone was dealing with grief for the first time in different ways. It was overwhelming. For me, why I ended up sleeping around was because Dad died when I had decided to actually love God, except for what he was giving, not who he is. I didn't have a relationship with God, and I felt entitled to a miracle. I mean, for real, that's what most Christians do. You go to God expecting, if I'm here, I'm doing this. The grace,
It's like
grace,
pay me. It's like pay me.
Grace just gives, the makes the unqualified qualified.
Exactly.
Yes. So I ended up pregnant with a guy I had been sleeping with, not just that one, but he was the guy who had gotten pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'd gone through a series of different men.
Relationships.
Yes. And this particular day, we had tried to do this abortion. I don't recommend. It's not right in the eyes of God. It's not right to humanity. Most people hear me speak and they're like, no, it's not the solution. Do not make decisions that will end you in a place where you have to give another person's life up.
Exactly.
Just for you to escape the guilt of what you did. It's not
the consequences of your actions.
Right. It's not right. If you're going to go in with two eyes to mess up, come out with two eyes and face it. Yes, so I was a coward, and it's not healthy. It wasn't right. So I'm in this labor ward. My mom had always prayed. She had always hoped that God is there. And I had never encountered God. And I can't tell you that I knew, but in the months leading to me getting pregnant, before I actually started sleeping around so much, I was suicidal. Would just walk into the road because Dad had just died. I didn't know what next. My mom was almost losing her job. I didn't know how to call her for help anymore. So for me, life was no more like there was nothing like tomorrow is going to be okay. Dad had just died. I had even tried to be a better child. And now he's gone. What else?
For him.
Exactly. What else? Mind you, before he had died, my dad had said something terrible out of anger. Or that if I ever become anything, he will commit suicide. And it so happens he died without taking that back. It was out of anger. I'm not trying to justify my father's mistakes. I know my father went through life without anyone understanding him. Yeah, so this labor ward, the moment I got pregnant, I knew I can't take this to my mom. My mom has had to deal with a lot. She's buried her husband. And she's almost lost her job. She has not been able to pay rent for us or tuition. How do I go and tell her, oh, your 19-year-old, by the way, is pregnant? How do you even start?
It could have caused a heart attack.
Or she would have died. My mother had gone already through enough, even before that. So I go to this labor ward. Earlier we had tried and it failed. This time it works. These doctors are around Kampala campus. Parents, be friends to your kids such that when they mess up, they don't run to mistakes.
Exactly.
They say, I need to talk to my dad. I messed up and I know he's going to be so pissed, but I have to talk to him. Because when they always run away, when they know you're going to be pissed, they're going to do the stupidest things and you're going to have to clean up after them. Because you're the parent. By default, you don't have a way out. So for me, I didn't choose that. I didn't choose that, and I was wrong as a child to not think of my mom as the first option to talk to.
Just because you thought she was overwhelmed with what was already going on in life.
Yes. So I actually didn't know God speaks. I had never experienced that. So they sedated me. Guy had gotten, they used the pump. I don't know how it looks like, but that's what they used. It was there. I was under heavy medication. I don't even think I was like normal, but whatever happened
were so
in that
sedated.
moment was so real. The voice just said, because in the past they had told me, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, and I just kept doing it. You said I can't do the why
Let me just do it.
This voice
to prove
said
you wrong.
a few words, and I felt like I was so convicted. I saw the weight of my sin. I saw what it had caused as pain to people around me. I saw how I had grieved God in just a minute or a second of just this voice saying, you've done this time and again. But the next time, you see, if you're beating your child and you tell them, okay, next time, it automatically means you're forgiven, or you're not going to be beaten the way you would be.
You would be punished.
Exactly. For me, it was more like, okay, that's my cue right there. I would love for you to help me this time around. Teach me how to do it better, not my way, because if I do it the same way, I'm going to end up here. Because my brain is what caused me to end up here.
That's how I'm wired originally.
Exactly. So if you can put something extraordinary for me and you just guide my life, I think I can do better.
And in all that you're saying it on that
under
bed.
medication.
Under medication.
I can't tell you that I know it's going on right, but it was so, like, it's like, you know how you've been numb and this pain starts now. Like you've lived with the pain, but that it had been numb. And then in these words, like, just released everything, just sunk in. I was so in pain. I was so ashamed of myself. I was repentant in all ways. I felt undeserving.
You
like
felt filthy,
I had
felt
disappointed
dirty.
God time. Like I didn't know how many booby traps I had walked into, and now the pain was. But I didn't think it was real, but it happened so real. The moment I said, help me, I went back home after that day. The guy I was dating, who I would give anything for, walked away without a fight. He just walked away.
That is after.
This is now what is happening. Now, there is no more medication. This is what is now happening in my life. I started falling out with terrible friends I had. The friends I always knew I'm not supposed to have, but I kept having.
So that only happens because you said, if you can
It
only
like
help me. When
something that had waited my confirmation. Of
responding to that voice,
Thank
responding
you.
to that voice,
Thank
and you're
you.
like, help me.
I started walking right with God. It started scaring me. That how am I not angry at someone who has just done this? How am I not doing this anymore? How am I feeling sorry for I can't tell you how much I felt the need to call my mom and apologize. But moms don't keep these things.
No, they don't. Mothers don't.
Then it helps when you actually acknowledge that you were wrong.
Exactly. It's very. It is.
I started changing. My music started, career-wise, it started. And that is what, 7-8 years ago? 7 years ago, I think.
Is that the time when you sing the song? I saw this song that you sang, Jesus Take the Wheel. What was that all about?
God.
Is that during this season that you...
Take the wheel
Jesus
was when Dad had just died. This was even before my pregnancy. Dad had just died. But my mom always thought if we study and go get jobs, we will help. She didn't have like cousins, aunties and sisters. She has gone through life alone. And she always had faith that when we get through school, we can always ease the burden. I had looked for jobs, I had failed. These are seasons I used to spend a month without food, like a whole month. And this is around, Take the Wheel happens, I think, in that time, in between the time I had to my pregnancy and Dad dying. That was like the midway.
During that time?
Yeah, but that song did not come out until 2014.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But that was a cry for help.
Yes, because there's a part that says, Lord, you know, without you, I don't know about me.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to ask you, take the wheel, make me heal. Because with you, I'm no tail. I won't wail, I will sail. Said, if I seek you, the whole thing was more like that's the time now I had started loving God for the miracle.
Now for the miracle?
Yes.
Not for a relationship?
No, for the miracle. I actually hated that song for some time.
Really? It's a
Because
very,
I did right by God and my dad died. Of course, that's how much I knew then. I know better now that there is a process to everything. And you know, you can be a parent who does something to jeopardize your chances of walking right in life. There is repercussions that affect people who are innocent.
Of course.
For example, when my dad went doing whatever he did, he didn't think when he dies it's going to break me or my other kids, my siblings.
Your siblings.
Exactly. But when he was doing it, he was just a man facing life and learning how to fix it the way he best knew how to. But then his mistakes broke people. And when we also went before people, we broke other people. So it's like there's a chain of custody with those things. Like someone just offloads off from you. You also go offload from someone.
Yes.
You offload from someone. It's like how you pay it forward with a good thing.
Yeah.
It's very easy for someone to remember, oh, someone has ever done this for me. I can do this for somebody else.
do this for
The same thing, if you're always around pain, you're going to give pain. If you allow healing, it's exactly what you'll transfer.
You will share, that's what you'll be sharing with
so
people.
me, when I went through this whole transition, my whole life, sometimes I hate it. Servants understand when I say this. Sometimes I just want to have a break from doing right by God because I'm human, I'm tired, I'm so overly stretched. But then I remember they did this for me. And I'm like, it might be a lifeline someone is looking for. Me waking up and doing this, me waking up and saying these words of hope, me waking up and sharing my scars. And I just put all my emotions on a hold, show up,
do the right thing,
serve, and then go back and complain if I want to. But it's impossible to keep what God has done for me when somebody else could use this for healing.
That is powerful. That is Zabuli for you. Thanks again. Keep watching. Follow us on The World That I Live In, the Susan K. World. See you in our next video.